Hello, beautiful beings. Namaste. Aloha. We're gonna actually wait for just a moment for people to hop on. I don't think it's quite 3:33 yet. However, I'll just give a couple moments for everybody to hop on, tune in, and take, if you're out there and you're watching this or you're viewing this after the fact, go ahead and make yourself comfortable. You can join me at home with some of what I have to talk about as far as exercise in the moment. If you got some time, take some time and space so you can join along. And while we're waiting for people to hop on, let's just take a moment to be present in this moment of right now. Together we can be present in this moment of now and take a deep breath together and just bring it all the worries of the day, just let everything go for 3 breaths. And just collectively inhale and exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale, inhaling all of the fulfillment, love, and bliss, peace, and exhaling all the things that your mind thinks you need to worry about. One more deep inhale, just and exhale. This is true power, true grace, and collective healing and manifestation when we take time to be present in the same moment of now by just choosing in to letting everything in the outside world go and inhaling and taking ownership of this being that we are embodying called myself, which is we're all connected, and we're all connected to everything outside of ourselves. And the more conscious and aware of that we are in this moment of now, the more we're in harmony, or the greater our capacity of being conscious and aware of where we're at in relationship to everything else. And that level of conscientious awareness has a wide spectrum of space in between its 2 extremes. And where we choose to hold ourselves in this moment of now, in that scale, dictates what's being reflected in our outside world. And whether we choose to be conscious and aware of that or not is one of the things I want to talk to you about today. When I take a look at the difference between accountability and blame, to me, those seem like polar opposites. Yet there's still a wide variety of spectrum between where we are in our conscientious awareness in this moment of now. And when you discover that rather than I'm choosing to take a look inside, or if I'm projecting and viewing with a judgment of an outside source, another human being usually, or the more conscious and aware I am of what space I'm holding, will dictate how I handle and perceive and interact with an opposing energy. And we've been very much, for thousands of years, honestly, as a human race, we've been playing the blame game. And we've been looking outside of ourselves for judgment, and judging others. And there's a big difference between judging somebody and honoring them where they're at. Because if I'm honoring them where they're at, then I'm taking true ownership of, I'm not giving my thoughts away. I'm not giving my power away by focusing my energy on what I think they should be doing or how I think they should be treating me. And I can give that focus and attention, and then that's going to lead to more of those thoughts, and I'm going to get tied up into that, and that is going to be the reality that I experience in this moment of now. And you always hear people say now is where the power is. And it's so true, because every human being out there has the power in mind, the peace in mind, and the freedom in mind to consciously select any state instantaneously. You can choose where you focus your attention. You can choose what thoughts you are entertaining. And you can choose at any moment in time to tell yourself that you're going to consciously choose to think different thoughts. I consciously and subconsciously choose to think beautiful, loving, harmonious, joyful, loving, abundant, proactive thoughts about myself and others now. And this is so. See, I can tell myself how I want to program myself. And I can be as conscious and aware of what thoughts I'm entertaining moment to moment to moment to moment. And there can be a lack of consciousness if I choose so, or if I'm choosing to be unaware, or I'm getting caught up in something that I'm taking personally. And for those that haven't read the Four Agreements, or that, like just a reminder, great things to keep in your life. And if you're unfamiliar with the Four Agreements, I highly recommend going and purchasing that book and reading. And then just a reminder for ourselves, because if I'm taking something personally, I'm automatically giving it my attention. Right? I'm automatically giving it my attention, and I'm feeding it energy, and to what degree I feed it energy dictates how much it affects my reality in whatever I'm experiencing in the moment of now. And I feel like And one of the greatest things that we can do for ourselves and for the human race, you always hear people say, be the change you want to see in the world. And I feel like that's very, very, very true. But be the change you want to see in the world. And in order to be, you have to be aware of what you're being. And a lot of us, it's part of life. We're going through this grand transformation right now. And we're taking energies and situations that that have been reacted to in the same way for long time in our genetic, history. Because all information is stored, we have access. And it's to what degree you are choosing to be, to what degree I am choosing to be conscious and aware of. And you have that opportunity at all moments in time as well. And when we start looking inside, and we start realizing being conscious of what space am I holding from, because you can only be conscious and aware and have a perspective based off of what you are aware of. And if there's a whole bunch of things that you're unaware of in a situation, well, then you can't have this perspective when you're sitting over here. But that doesn't mean that this perspective is untrue. It's just you're unaware of it. And the degree in which we look inside really starts influencing what you're aware of. And to me, that's what this church is really offering. That's what we offer. An ability to have lots of different resources in order for you to look inside yourself and find out what resonates with you. What truly resonates with you. Take everything else away, and what truly resonates with you. And in order to find out rather something resonates, you got to take a look, and a fair look. And then once you have an understanding, then you can decide or feel rather not it's resonating. And a lot of times along the way. And the more we look at ourselves, the more we step into accountability, and the less we're blaming others, because we are operating from a conscientious awareness that we are creators and that we're creating at all moments in time. Think of some of your favorite human creations. What are they? And has anybody seen a gerbil creation? Or a rabbit? Or a lion? Human beings? Another thing, have you ever seen a rabbit or a lion or a monkey or a giraffe start a fire? There's a relationship here. There's everything's in relationship, and part of the human experience, part of our specialness as creators is our desire to want to know how things work and to replicate and create and expand, and we are expanding at a very fast rate in both consciousness, in imagination, in technology. And it really brought it home to me when I was hearing Erin talk about things being under construction in her weekly equality video. And if you get a chance to go check out her weekly equality videos, I highly recommend starting at video one and just going all the way through each week and participating, because um, she's very much doing so at a digestible rate, so that anybody, rather they've been exposed to any of this information before or not, can digest where we're going here. And what we're giving is a multitude of different uh, opportunities for you to look at yourself. Because if I'm looking at myself, then I'm not worried about you. Like, I'm trusting that um, I'm at the perfect place at the perfect time, and that I am divine, and that I am a creator, and that I have the beautiful opportunity of choosing how I'm going to feel in this moment, how I'm going to, what thoughts I'm going to think or entertain. And I want to come back to the things under construction, but I also want to take you to a Sanskrit word, Ananda, because it ties into a whole bunch of things. Everything that I've been doing for the last 21 years is all connected. Much like your life is, and everything building up. We're all connected, and we're all having our own unique experience. And we all are having these unique moments of now to choose into higher states of being and to do things differently. And we are under construction. What are we constructing, and what kind of reality are we going to choose into? And the construction is all happening within. And it's showing up in the outer world depending on what you're choosing to construct, and what we as a bunch of eyes are co-creating. And when we take moments to breathe with one another, to consciously tap into our divine moment of now, and to the breath of this moment, to the awareness of this moment, letting go of everything else and being in this moment, that's powerful. And when we start looking at ourselves and promoting, you know, the gene keys in human design is such a beautiful thing, and it's all related to the I Ching and astrology, and that's all like related to amino acids. And then we're looking at microcosms and macrocosms, and we're giving you opportunities to see systems that are in mathematical harmony, and you can explore those systems. You can explore yourself. Your exploration has nothing to do with me. I can make suggestions, and I can give you opportunities, but I'm not here to tell you what your exploration looks like or what your truth gets to be. That is for you to decide. And I think there's a big difference between destroying a bunch of information and making it punishable by death to believe anything or preach anything that was outside of a certain set of beliefs, and that's punishable by death to anybody that would present evidence or opportunity to think otherwise. that to me seems like control. That to me seems like control of what you should find important in life, what you should believe, what you. So, but that's just my opinion. Um, what we're offering is we're not telling you what's right or wrong. That's for you to discover. We're not here to tell you what you should explore or how you should think about, but we are here to provide a multitude of different opportunities and methods and ways to look into the self and see what you discover. It's your journey. And there's a bunch of really beautiful systems that seem to is definitely been a beautiful journey of mine, and it's continuing to blossom and grow. And I am continuing to blossom and glow and grow and glow. And um, what I'm choosing to entertain in my mind, I am spending a great deal of time a day actively being conscious of what thoughts I'm choosing to hold in my mind from thing to thing to thing. And at the same time, I still find myself becoming conscious and aware that I'm walking around on autopilot, on zombie mode, and or entertaining thoughts that are just ramblings in my head. Whoa, but when I become aware of that, then all of a sudden I have the opportunity to shift. And if I can be conscious and aware of the situations of others and be compassionate to where they might be sitting and honor them for where they're at versus judging them for where they're at. But I can honor them for where they're at by choosing to keep my bliss, by not giving it the energy of my thoughts or give it the energy that it is required to shift, rearrange, and shift my focus. And we all have this ability. And it's whether we choose to be conscious and aware of it or not. But once we become conscious and aware of it, then you also become conscious and aware of different ways in which we have chosen into being victims or continue to stay victims by whatever we're attached to outside of ourselves that we're putting blame on. And that can be whatever we want to give our energy to at any moment in time. I could turn on the news, watch it for an hour, and have all kinds of new perspectives and things that I've now chosen to give my energy to and then make part of my reality. And when we, as co-creators, I invite you over the next week to really focus on thoughts of gratitude. That I am focusing on thoughts of gratitude, and I'm honoring people where they're at, and I'm loving people where they're at, and I'm allowing people to be where they're at, consciously choosing to give them only loving energy. Consciously choosing to give them loving energy. And then shift my focus. I am grateful. And I'm surrounded by beautiful beings of light and in harmonious relationships that are based on trust and love and lifting each other up and working together. And the more we learn to work together with one another, the more we learn to be able to vocalize and set clear boundaries. Because a lot of times, step zero is the first thing that's missed, and it's I protect. And that's from Christopher Witecki's 11 Steps to Serious Joy, just so you know. Big shout out to Christopher Witecki. And that's actually where Love Fest Day comes to. But we'll talk about that on another day, or there's plenty of other lives to talk about Love Fest Day. And there is an equality video that talks about Love Fest Day. And we are really all about transformation. When you think about flames, fire, we're all about transformation, and it all starts here. It all starts with the self. And it is your journey, not mine. My journey is my journey inside myself. And the more I become conscious and aware of different things and different ways I'm holding things and how I'm having an effect on different things and how my thoughts are having it, we can really dive into some really brilliant new awareness. But with that comes choosing differently in trying situations. And everything is under construction right now. And when we choose to do things differently, we really have a grand effect on how things are being constructed. And, you know, the construction really, it's challenging to deal with, whether you're in a car or something's happening outside your apartment complex and it's affecting traffic in your daily life. Everything's loud. It's often a pain in the butt, but it's always like so grand when the construction's done and you get to enjoy the new thing that was built or the improvement that was made, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, so glad the construction's done and now I get to enjoy this. Well, we're under some heavy construction, folks. And lots of things are changing. And all of our moments of now have such a grand effect on what this world turns out to be. And the only control that we have is within the self. And if we're honoring that and we're diving in, we're understanding how we work and like different aspects of what makes us individually unique and special and a gift, because we're all divine and we are all gifts to one another, and we all interact in different ways, and we all inspire each other in different ways, and we all empower each other in different ways. And the more we start focusing on how we work together energetically and how I work within myself, the greater conversations we can have with one another, the more we can be in service to one another, the more we can connect on much deeper levels. And that is what changes the world. And it happens one connection at a time, one moment of a time of choosing higher, and choosing higher and choosing higher. And you can one way to decide rather not you're choosing higher, or especially if you're like in doubt, is it risky and seem harder to view it from a space of love and really step into something that really is actually as easy as letting go or shifting a perspective, but it means giving up being right or being pissed or being angry. Um, and then if that's the case, if it's then is that how you want to feel? Whatever you're experiencing, rather that be sorrow, pain, anger, is that how you want to feel? And if not, can you step into a space where you can honor them where they're at and choose to feel good? Choose to feel balanced, safe? Because you do have the ability to. It's rather not we want to consciously step into that space. And the more we can work together in learning different ways to consciously step into that space and inspiring one another through the act of being. And then we bring it back home to being the change you want to see in the world. And you are your very own bright, beautiful, amazing, unique you. You are your own special I. And you are a creator, as am I. And together we are co-creating. And I would like to create a sustainable planet. I am choosing to create a sustainable planet. I am choosing to actively expand my conscientious awareness moment to moment, getting better and better and better, becoming clearer and clearer and clearer in what thoughts I choose to entertain in my mind. I consciously and subconsciously choose to think beautiful, loving, harmonious, joyful, loving, abundant thoughts about myself and others now. And this is so, and so it is. And if I deviate from that, that is my choice. And rather not I'm conscious and aware of deviating from that, that's up to, we're developing, I am developing everything's a practice. And the more we practice something, the better we get at it. And what greater thing could you practice? What greater thing could I practice than going inside and learning as much about me as I can? And taking the time and space to go inside and experiment, explore. How many of us do that? I know that I went through a great period of my life where I didn't do that. But here's an invite to do that. And the more of us that are choosing into that and taking the time to, the more accountable we are becoming, the more we're in our bliss, moment to moment to moment. And that brings me back to the Sanskrit word ananda. Okay? So, there's what's called the bliss molecule, which is an anandamide. An anandamide is released when you step into a flow state. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm a contact fire spinner. I'm a flow artist. I'm all about flow. And in the acronym FLAMES, for those of you that don't know, the F stands for fire and flow. Woo-hoo. Everything's in flow, and it's rather not we're in resistance to it or not. We can step into the flow, and when we are in the flow state, anandamide is naturally released in the brain, and you experience a bliss-like state. The Sanskrit word ananda means bliss, consciousness, bliss, like love, bliss, peace. And we are that at all times. And it's our resistance to the flow that creates the division, the illusion of separation. And it's rather not like I'm giving my power away by focusing my attention on this, which leads to more of this and this and this, and I'm on a thought train. Wherever I put my attention, there's a series of thought train, like that I could flow down, that's in the sea from that perspective. And we have control over what thoughts and where we're pointing our focus. So, and think about that and realize that how your reality, like just be conscious, like take a moment and notice how your reality shifts depending on how you're choosing, what state you are choosing to view it from. I want everybody out there that's tuning in to like consciously look themselves in the mirror tonight. Look yourself in the eyes. And tell yourself you love you. And that you love you wholeheartedly. And that you're perfect just the way you are right now. And feel that. Look yourself in the eye and feel that. I love you. And I am sending all of you so much love. We are all connected. We are all brothers and sisters on this planet. We're all super special. And we're all in service to one another. How do we want to show up? Thank you for tuning in. Here's a couple of things I mentioned in last week's community address, sermon, if you will. Actually, community address. I mentioned that my primary goal is to create the human race coming together as one, hand in hand, across the world, in all countries, because they want to. Because they're so fucking grateful that we're all together and that everybody has what they need and that people have elevated by igniting their own personal light to shine so bright that they want to connect together, hand in hand, and together, united, screaming out into the universe. We are one and we are connected and we are whole and complete and we love. Because it fucking feels grand and amazing and we're all celebrating because we worked together as a human race to make it grand and special for the human race. And that we eliminated division by eliminating scarcity and actually choosing to consciously create solutions for everyone. Possible solutions. We're not here to solve anybody's problem. We're not. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to solve your problem. I'm here to provide solutions and to unite with other people that are wanting to provide alternative solutions to a populace so that people can make new choices. Because you can only choose the things that you're aware of having the ability to choose. And until you're exposed to something, it's not in your field of awareness as a possibility. And we, as a human race, are very talented. We're very innovative. We have access to all of the resources. And it's rather or not to what degree we choose to work together. And when we let go of the me game and we step into the we game from a space of it being about the we instead about the me, then all of a sudden, we're working together and we're powerful. We're united. And the more we unite, and the more we listen to one another, and the more we actively practice transforming pain and shame and judgment and fear into higher vibrations through being, you can't be around like 15 people that are conscious and aware and actively choosing to elevate each other and be a grumpy putz all the time, and you'll just naturally either raise your vibration or you will leave because you're not in resonance with it. And that's okay. It's okay. And that's where all of a sudden we're back to honoring people wherever they're at. Because if I'm honoring, but if I, and it's a tricky game of where am I holding my energy. So, I mentioned coming together as my end goal, and that my goal is to have that happen by November 4th, 2040. Because that's the day, there's like a 4-day time period of Saturn crossing Jupiter. And I feel like it's a good day for the human race to come together. And I feel like there's a lot of work to do, a lot of uniting and connecting to do, a lot of self-exploration to do, a lot of ways to inspire each other, and a lot of things that need to happen in order to create the human race wanting to come together and wanting it enough to choose into it, and not just choose into it, but celebrate. Can you imagine the human race celebrating together? Because life's so grand. Life is so grand. And we individually have the power in this moment of now. And really, any day that we all collectively chose to come together, we could choose to come together. We could choose that at any moment in time. And I'm here giving you lots and lots of notice. Yo, let's all come together. And let's make a world, let's construct a world where everybody's excited to do that on November 4th, 2040. We have time to create that. We are creators. And when we start working together with one another and we drop our ego and we make the betterment of our planet and the betterment of the human race through loving compassion and provide, that is powerful. And that's what I choose to create, and that's why we started this church. And F.L.A.M.E.S is an acronym. It stands for fire and flow, love, art, music, movement, mushrooms. Equality is the E. We're all equal. We're all special. And then S, sustainability. Because the current system and the current way we're doing things, it's not sustainable. And when you're stuck in circles and you're circle stuck and you're making the same decisions, and your history can do nothing but repeat itself. And we have the opportunity as creators to choose something different. And here's an opportunity to join like-minded people in creating something different by choosing to focus on ourselves, by choosing to focus on self-love, by choosing to focus on self-exploration and self-forgiveness, and give tools and opportunities to connect and create and celebrate acts of creation, whether that be art, music, or some invention, right? We're here to elevate one another, because that's how we shift, if we want to. I love you all. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving weekend. The next full moon is on December 4th, and I am inviting people to come together in parks, houses, at your friend's house, whatever, get together, set up some type of intention, all hold hands. And I recommend, for the first, let's howl at the moon together, and then do 3 ohms, and then howl some more. Let's start celebrating, and let's start coming together, because if we're gonna get the world to come together by December or November 4th, 2040, well, we're gonna have to start getting together and practicing, because that's gonna be a pretty grand moment. And this is my intention, and so it is. And so an invitation Go howl at the moon and 3 times with your friends, family, loved ones, and let's start connecting. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving weekend. Love you. I'll see you next week at 3:33 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Like, subscribe. If you anybody out there that wants to donate, we really deserved to have some money start flowing through, because it does take money to run an international organization. It does take money to do some of the things that we're doing, and it's all coming right now out of pocket from people, a bunch of artists and visionaries that chose to build a nonprofit organization to gather people to do something about building a better planet and constructing. And one of the biggest ways that I could inspire this week, I felt, was talking about how we are constructing with what thoughts we are choosing to entertain. So, next full moon is the December 4th. Come together, invite friends. Namaste. And subscribe. We love you.